It's Friday, December 5th, 2025, about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I am Todd Dunn, and right now I'm headed over to Southwest Harbor. Let me turn the camera around so you can see what I'm driving through. Yeah, I'm in Bass Harbor right now, and show you the tide is out pretty much. Here's a bit of the harbor. It was a cold night last night, and it got down to 8 degrees, which is probably the coldest it's been since at least last March, maybe February. And right now it's 22, so not particularly hot. Now, I haven't been making many videos lately. I just have not been feeling that good. Turns out that I have iron deficiency anemia. I found that out because Monday I went over to the hospital for some blood work, and they tested my iron to see, why I continue to be anemic almost 2 months after I got out of the hospital. So, yeah, well, the blood work showed that I am still anemic, not as anemic as I was, but, I've recovered from 10.6 hemoglobin grams per deciliter to 11 and a bit, so not much change. The iron work, though, showed that I'm iron deficient, and rather significantly iron deficient, so I'm gonna end up getting some sort of treatment for that. From my reading, it seems like the most likely one is that they will put me on an oral iron supplement for a while, and that will be either ferrous sulfate or ferrous gluconate. I don't know which one they'll go with. I'm guessing the gluconate, because it is supposed to be not as hard on your intestinal system, and I did have that intestinal bleed just under 2 months ago. So anyway, so that's where we are now, and I'm going to stop at the drugstore and see if they have those supplements in stock. I think they probably have the iron or ferrous sulfate. They may not have the other one. It's a little less common. Fortunately, those are pretty cheap. They're not prescription drugs, they're over the counter, so it shouldn't be a big deal. I'm supposed to hear from my hematologist on Tuesday about what he wants to do. Now, he was away last week, and so that's when he'll have the opportunity to see my blood work. So anyway, yeah, this anemia has been quite an issue, in that I get winded just walking up a flight of stairs, and since I live in a house with 3 stories, I do a lot of stairs, and every time I go from one floor to another going up, I have to sit down for a while, which is really annoying, and I haven't been going out much because of it, because I just don't have the energy. Now, the other thing that happened was Tuesday, Maine had its first big snowstorm of the winter of 25-26. And, but, as you can see, we're just coming into Southwest Harbor now, we don't have any snow here. But if you look at the hills up there in the distance, you can see snow on the hilltops. So above about 1,000 feet, there's considerable snow, but down here near sea level, there isn't any. We got a little bit at the beginning of the storm, and here's a picture, a clip of me driving home in the snow. The scenic route back, which is right along the water, and see how it is. Hopefully the road will not be so slippery that we slide. into the ocean. Here we go. Well, the road is a little snowy here. On the way in, which wasn't that long ago, there was no snow here. This is actually a little slick. Whoa. Yeah, it was a little slippery, but not bad. But by about 11 o'clock, the snow had stopped and it switched over to rain, and the rest of our storm was rain, and all the snow melted out. So, yeah. So, just north of Southwest Harbor, I understand there is snow on the ground, but and on the northern half of the island, but down here, no snow, which is fine with me. So that was good. And now we're in this cold snap. Had it snowed, we'd have ice everywhere, that there was snow left, and it would be a real mess. But it didn't, so we're not overly concerned with it. So the next chance of snow is next week. I think Wednesday and Friday we might get some snow showers, but nobody is really talking about amounts at this point. See, here we are, downtown Southwest Harbor. It's not very crowded. Just a couple local people in the local businesses. And I'm going to turn here, and I'm going to go into the drugstore and check on those iron supplements. See what they have. Okay, this is our local drugstore, Carroll Drug. Alright, I'll pick this up when I get out. Okay, I'm coming down to Southwest Harbor to take a look and see if my mooring has been pulled for the winter, because if it has, I'm going to go over to the mooring service company and have a look at it. And because my pickup buoy disappeared, and I want to see what happened to it. So anyway, there's the harbor. You can see it's pretty empty. Just a few lobster boats left, basically no pleasure boats. Now, I'm going to stop for a second and look for my mooring. Okay, I don't see it, so that means that I'm going to head over and take a look at the mooring service company's sort of storage area and see if I can see it. I'll find my mooring ball and have a look at my mooring pennant, see if it's still intact, and see if my pickup buoy if there's anything left of it. The harbor master told me he found a few on the shore, and I went and looked at what he had, and it did not include mine. So I think somebody probably ran over my mooring and broke my pickup buoy off, and that my pennant and everything then sank down to the bottom of the harbor, presumably still attached to the mooring, but basically unusable. Anyway, a lot of vehicles right here, and somebody with some snow on his truck. Okay, and here's the outer harbor, and you can see it is completely empty. Now, we had a big storm last night with wind gusts up to 48 knots, so it was pretty lumpy in here last night, and it's good not to have your boat in the water. So anyway, we'll head back up to the main road. This is Shore Road here, and we're going to go up a block to Route 102A, and just see if I can find my mooring at the mooring service company. I know roughly where they keep it, so it shouldn't be that hard to find what it looks like. My mooring ball was still there, and we'll just see what I need to replace for next year. it's good to know because mooring components are kind of expensive. A new mooring pendant and pickup buoy could easily cost the better part of $500. So yeah, I prefer to get it during the spring sales rather than wait. So we just go out here a little bit and we'll make a right turn and go out to the mooring service company's yard, which is maybe 3/8 of a mile back into the woods off of the main road here. And the turn is right up here. And there's a little kitty. There we go. And it's 21 degrees still. Not very warm today. I think our high was the 22 I saw when I was leaving the post office. It's supposed to get down to around 12 tonight, which is, for this time of year, is quite chilly. And this is a boat yard where sequester is stored. Depending on how long it takes to find my mooring ball, I may stick my head in and just take a quick look at sequester. We're just gonna go back up here. Ooh, we're straight into the sun. Sorry about that. Won't be for long though. It's 3:14 and the sun is just about to set, probably within the next 40 minutes. Sunset is pretty early here this time of year for a couple of reasons. One, we're back on standard time, and the other one is that we're way east in the time zone, and we really should be in another time zone rather than Eastern time. But that would be really inconvenient, so it has never happened. Anyway, this is where the mooring company is, so I'm just going to go up and head back to their storage area. Well, I didn't find my mooring ball. It might still be on the service barge if it's still in the water, because they tend to accumulate them there and then bring them over. Or who knows? But I didn't find it, so yeah. Have to wait and see. I'm going to go back over to the harbor quickly and take a look to make sure that it's not still in the harbor. Well, I just checked the harbor again, and my mooring ball is definitely not there, so they've taken it out. And the service barge isn't there either. Doesn't mean it's not still in the water somewhere. But yeah, I don't know where my mooring ball is. I suspect that it's over there someplace at the service company, but just where is hard to say. Anyway, it's starting to get dark, so I'm headed home. It's 3:30 now. And okay, here we go. We're going on the inland route, and we'll see what it looks like over there. So let me turn the camera around. I'm nearly out of battery, so I'm not going to be going on much longer. At any rate, I haven't made any videos for quite a while. I'm hoping to make some more, but I just haven't been getting out of the house. And things just leave me. My energy level has been really low, and that just has meant that I haven't felt like doing anything. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna go home and we'll make dinner. And take it easy for the evening. So you can see it's pretty quiet here this time of year, early December, and winter is definitely here, at least temperature-wise. No snow yet down here, but as you saw on the hills, there is snow up higher, and I gather they got 6 to 8 inches inland in Bangor. Apparently only the immediate coast, such as where we live on the ocean side of an island, managed to avoid snow. So yeah, it has not, it was a pretty big storm. I gather they had a lot of issues inland, but as you can see out here, it was a non-event as far as snow. And but we won't miss them all. That said, it is not uncommon to have snow just inland of us and rain out here right on the coast. And we're not even right on the coast. This is Mount Desert Island, which is an island off the coast, and we live on the ocean side of it. So I mean, it can snow on the land side of the island and rain at our place. So anyway, coming into Bass Harbor, here we are, and we're going to drive over and I'll show you what the harbor looks like if I have enough battery. I think I'm down to like 18%, and it's not lasting very long. Okay, one of the local boat storage places that handles small trailerable boats. As we head into metropolitan Bass Harbor. Now, Bass Harbor has 2 businesses. It has a little convenience store gas station that we went by. That's open all year. And that's pretty much it. Oh, there's also a garage, an auto repair shop. They're open all year. And what else? Not much else. And in the summer, we have a couple of restaurants, but they're all shut down now. And there's the state ferry dock. And here we are. We're going to go right by the harbor, which, as you can see, looks pretty dry because the tide is mostly out. And the ice is really just from last night, because it hadn't been getting that cold at night. We drive through the big city of Bass Harbor. There used to be a lot more businesses here. There was a movie theater or a general store and gas stations. Well, a number of businesses, but they're pretty much all gone. I mean, there used to be a lobster buy dock, but it got trashed by storms 2 years ago, and they did not rebuild it. And so, you know, everything is pretty much shut down. As you can see, it's a very small town. Bass Harbor only has about 400 or 500 people. And this time of year, because a large percentages of the homes here are owned by summer people, they're not here. And a lot of the other homes are in the summer rental market for tourists, short-term rentals. They're not occupied in the winter. And so I think in the 2020 census, when they did the census, they found that just over 50% of the homes here aren't occupied in the winter. and I think it's only gotten worse in the last 5 years. So anyway, just about ready to get home. So I'm going to end this video. I know it wasn't very exciting, and but it's the first time I've been out of the house since Monday. So I'm going to head home and say thanks for watching. If you haven't, please subscribe. I'm going to put out more content over the next few months. The last month and a half has just been a slow period for me. I just haven't done much of anything. But hopefully that will change. And I'll say goodbye.